Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction to read-through for Omniscient Reader or Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint chapters 189, 190, and 191, probably. So I plan to do 3, but like if I read 2 of them and it's been like 45 plus minutes, then it's like, okay, maybe I should stop at 2. Or if I read 3 and for some reason there's a lot of action, they're really fast, there hasn't been as much discussion for some reason, and it's less than 30 minutes, maybe I do a 4th one. But we'll see what happens. We'll see how things end up. Either way, I'm excited to read as I always am, going through the same old intro. I say excited to read every time. But yeah, I'm very excited. These chapters will be from February 2024. So we're like, after this gonna be 10, 11-ish, 10-ish months behind, so we're getting caught up pretty quickly. Once we are caught up, like I said, I'll do another character ranking around like 220 something, wherever I should stop there. Nobody told me however many was a good stopping place this week, which is why I'm just doing kind of 3, but again, anytime you have any suggestions, just let me know. And yeah, once we get all caught up, I absolutely completely really love ORV, so once we get caught up I'm still doing reactions every single week, but the thing is, they might not be as long since we have to wait a week for one chapter. Then again, they might still be very long given that my Tower of God videos often end up being like 40-50 minutes for just one chapter. Because, we'll be able to discuss a lot more about the current story that's going on, or about what I think will happen in the future. I already kind of do that. Been predicting a lot, guessing a lot at what's going to happen with whoever it is that Dokja loves most and all of that. But there's a limit right now for me. There's a limit to what I can do when it comes to speculation, because there comes a certain point where it's not like I'm waiting a week for the next chapter. It's more like, okay, if I want to see what happens next, literally just keep reading. Literally just read. So since videos might be a bit shorter once we're caught up, I have so many other things I'd love to do. I'd love to do other types of rankings, like maybe an arc ranking, or, I tend to call chapters arcs and call episodes chapters just because it's more what I'm used to, but, a ranking of chapters or arcs, whatever you want to call them, or reviews for each of them individually, something I'd really like to do, discussion videos on some of the things that I love about the series. There's a lot I'd like to do once we are caught up and we are just on the week-to-week grind. So with that intro aside, hopefully it wasn't too long. I rambled on quite a bit. Let's go ahead and start reading 189. We start with someone saying, Mr. Yu Jung-hyuk. Oh, it's Gerbil. Will you fight with me? I wonder if this is from the past regression. Protect this paradise with me. And now we're seeing full demon form. Very cool design. I like it a lot. Monster. Help me. And the flower is about to be trampled on. Their perpetual motion flower. We have our title splash. We see Gerbil with the citizens. Kim Dokja's Love, Part 7. We have a whoosh from what I'm assuming is one of his tentacles. Okay, and they're grabbing all these people. Or since he's kind of a plant now, I feel like he's a bit fused with the tree. It might be more tendril than tentacle. Oh, it's you, Heimdall. Good. I needed some energy for recovery. And now we have Viewpoint. Stop immediately, slicing through. You're supposed to be protecting this place. What are you doing? That was before you showed up. But it's already over. He looks down for paradise. And we have all the creatures attacking the citizens that are left. My lord? Lord my foot, that's just a monster. This is why beings who depend on small stories for survival are hopeless. They lived their entire lives taking shelter under small trees. They have no understanding of how that tree ends up becoming a forest. That's why I have no choice but to start everything anew. Is he bird caging the place? We see them spreading out far to the far reaches of paradise, to the edges of the city. He's stabbing into all of the citizens. and destroying these buildings. He covers the entire place. The story behind the demon marquis, Reinheit. Paradise that's nurtured on souls. And he's absorbing all of their life force. Perpetual motion. Again, I love the design here. Ah, what a great feeling. What is that? Will I be able to defeat it? Can humans fight something like that and win? And then she notices the one of the thick parts being cut through. And then Gerbil looks over. You are truly impressive. You've become something beyond human. That man named Kim Dokja was impressive too. And we're seeing Junghyuk. But you are a real monster. I took you under my wing last round, Reinheit. But this time I'm going to kill you. I'll gain 2 extra levels from strength, two extra levels of strength from Flame King's gloves. Then another extra level of strength from Gukryung's skin, and 4 extra levels from Heavenly Sword of Gathering Clouds. Lastly, another 3 levels of strength with a buff skill. The first step of transcendence is to go beyond the limits of the flesh. The second is to train all your skills to the maximum level. The third is to kick over the ladder you climbed. Forget your skills, your levels, and the stories you collected. What's important is that you find your own story. That is really cool. So we're getting into what he's learned from the past. Okay. I was wondering what they were meaning by kicking the ladder down behind you, but it's not so much kick the ladder that you climbed so that other people don't follow in your footsteps or whatever. It's more kick the ladder you climbed, forget about how you climbed to get here, because you can't rely on other people's stories. You have to make your own story. Or rather, like they worded it, find your own story. Skybreaker. And he's fighting against the tendrils of the plant. And then rushes forth to carve through closer, it looks like. Or maybe, he takes off into the air here, it looks like. Because that's where he was standing. It looks like he goes up. But maybe it's not that he's going toward Reinheit, but that he's cutting a hole open from the side. Impressive. Okay, no, it looks like he might have moved in. I guess the rumors I heard about transcendence weren't all lies. But he's only a human who isn't even a returnee. Even while using skills, no skill use notifications were appearing in his mind. He's fighting against the demon bears we saw from before, and more of these hybridish creatures. Because his power wasn't coming from the system, it was all. He's able to slice through. Power that regressor Yu Jung-hyuk had accumulated on his own. He defeats them all. We have citizens still getting slaughtered. This is pretty bleak. There are still people here. Be careful not to hurt them. We have Sang-ah still trying to do her best with the threads while carrying around Mia. He's an owner of a legend-grade story. He's not that easily defeatable. Inside Paradise, his power is equal to that of a Tier 2 monster, which is a massive jump from what we've been seeing. Why has he been harboring all these monsters? These monsters are Paradise's main export. Export? This isn't good. I guess we'll have to start looking for another farm, say the Dokja. Okay, so this might be a part of the reason why he was able to keep Paradise running, is it's like, why? I guess that makes sense, because it's like, okay, he was sacrificing humans to the peach tree, basically, to make the monsters and stuff, and then some of them were getting released and populating this floor and everything, but that wouldn't really explain why it is that they're left free to do this. but now it explains why they would be left free to do this. If the Dokja are using the demons, the monsters that are spawned here, in order to populate their scenarios and everything, then it would make a sense why they're like, okay, you can stay here and do this paradise thing, but we'll use it as a farm for monsters to use in the scenarios. Did you ever wonder where all the monsters that appeared sorry, I'm still having trouble speaking, that appeared in the scenarios came from? Dokja, paradise can be rebuilt. Paradise is the provider of the Starstream's monsters. One of many, to be exact. Isn't there a way for us to get rid of that thing? So I wonder, since this is one of many, do the others work in the same or a similar manner, or do they all create monsters differently? This place will be restored in no time. Please, do not cancel the contract. I'll be able to overpower him if I use the power of Transcendence and use Giant Body Transformation. But it won't be efficient. We see Hyunsung fighting in the background. We need to remove Perpetual Motion's root in order to kill him. But what should we do when we can't go underground? We won't. Okay, is this why he pushed Gil Young and Yusung back down? I've already sent someone else to do that. And then we get cliffhung there. Okay, very good chapter still. A lot of action-y stuff. But I love seeing Yoo Jung-hyuk take the lead, be the main character a bit, like Dokja was saying. Take the lead a bit here. I think that was really cool. And on top of that, he was mostly communicating with Sang-ah, but then seeing him communicate with Hui-won at the end is cool. It makes it feel like, you know, there's more of a unity between the group, more relationships between the group. Also some stuff with Hui-won's character at the beginning is good. We're getting more development for the overall world and story of ORV that everything takes place in. And I think that, again, Reinhardt, I keep jokingly calling him Gerbil the entire time, but Fahrenheit von Germa. Reinhardt's been, I think, a really, really good character. I like him a lot as a villain. He's cool and everything. The fight's nice, but I think the fights are something that I usually don't even pay as much attention to or care as much for in ORV as the character writing, because I think the character writing is very, very good. That's not to say there haven't been really great fights. I love the fight with the Catastrophe of Questions. That might be one of my favorite ones. The stuff surrounding the throne way back a while ago. There have been a lot of really good action set pieces. But beyond the action, I just think that the character stuff and the world building, stuff like that's been very fun. So, yeah, with all that aside, again, it's like I said before, where it's not like, you know, I'm just sitting here like, yeah, let's just talk for a while since I have to wait a week anyway. Now it's like, no, I don't have to wait a week anyway. Let's just go read 190. And 190 starts us off with a little bit of a recap. We get this panel again, and then that panel again. I've already sent someone else to do that. Have you seen Yusung and Gil Young by any chance? I haven't seen them for a while now, says Hyunsung. And then Hui-won takes notice. and turns back to Jung-hyuk. Jung-hyuk, don't tell me you... And it's also fun to note because to Soo-young and to Dokja, it's like people like Jung-hyuk are characters and characters that they are familiar with. But to the other people here, for the other characters in the story, for us, he's like just another person. And we see the two of them down there with all of the creatures. Dokja didn't leave you behind without any plans. And we have a window pop up for Jung-hyuk. And is that going to be Dokja astral projecting from when he was sleeping? Omniscient Reader's Viewpoint level 3 is currently activated. And Jung-hyuk can see him this time. A constellation who does not have a name yet lets out a sigh is what I'm assuming that would be. That unbelievable jerk. Okay, so yeah, that's what it said. And then we get our title splash, Kim Dokja's Love, Part 8. We see the crater from before. What should we do? I don't know either. We see the two of them. And a mountain of bodies that they climbed up out of before. I don't think I can keep the monsters distracted with my insects any longer. It's not like I can tame all those monsters. Your brain might end up bursting if you did that. Are we going to die like this? And we see even Gerbil's tendrils coming at them from down below. I was thinking that maybe they'd be in a good spot because he's fighting everyone above ground. I was going to say maybe he doesn't sense them down there and they can attack at his roots because of that. But no, it seems like he can tell that they're there. And we have some sort of dragon creature. And it looks like everything stops. And the dragon creature is absolutely massive. That thing, how long has it been there? It opens its eyes. We have Yusung reacting. That's not a monster. She stands up. Hey, you can't. You'll never tame that thing. We're gonna die anyway if we don't do anything. This is why Dokja left me here. Damn it. It's so cool if she gets a giant dragon from now on. We have the energy coming off of her. Activating personal skill. Advanced interspecies communication. Level 5. And it touches onto the dragon's head. And the dragon's being restrained. Okay, so yeah, it might end up liking her if she frees it from being restrained by the roots. We have some sort of mental connection made here. And then she falls to her knees, bleeding from the mouth. Yusung, no, I don't want to kill... I don't want to eat them. Let me out of here. Is she getting the monster's memories? She's screaming. As it reacts. Then we have the two of them here. Man, I love when ORV does this. It's done this with the art a few times by now. And this particular panel is really nice looking. And then Gil Young's frozen in terror. It looms forward. It's too painful. I want to stop. I want this to stop, and they're both bleeding now. This creature's beyond my control. I'd be at peace if I just gave up. And now we have Dokja's influence. She turns back. Mister? Okay, I'm okay. I was gonna say I'm sure it'll give it to us in full, so. A constellation who does not have a name yet is looking at you. A constellation who does not have a name yet is nodding their head. And then that's enough to give her her resolve back, which is good. I love that we have the characters like Yusung and Gil Young fighting against like really like a tough situation where they could potentially die. It's easy to just not put the kids in actual dangerous situations, but I love that they're being put in a real situation. They're being actually hurt. Like Yusung has taken some damage here, and she has to use her resolve to go through. And if she does, maybe she gets a new power. Maybe, I don't know if the dragon will stick around or not. Maybe it can be compressed or something. But it'd be really cool if it did stay around. I like that her resolve is something that is important here. And this is a situation where it's not even like he gave her like a buff or a power up. He might here in the future, like in a couple panels, who knows. But at least for right now, it's she was trying to do this because she was left behind for a reason, and she's like, this is how I can help. But when it comes to how tough it was to help, when it comes to the obstacles she was run up against, she was like, you know what? Maybe I can't win. Maybe I can't do this. And with the message of just Dokja reassuring her, she was thinking to herself before, this is what he left me here for. But then getting that reassurance, yeah, this is what you're meant to do, makes her think, okay, I can do this, or I have to do this. And it's more that what she thought was her mission is being confirmed to her. So she's like, okay, this is it. This is what I have to do. And it's just like renewing this resolve. She starts to try to stand again. She stands up before it and walks forward, up towards it, and touches it. Look at me. We have a massive growl. You can't become a monster just because they hurt you. And it reacts. She pulls out the golden apple thingy. Let's get out of here together. And then it ends there. Wow. That was a really good chapter again. Again, I mentioned before, I love whenever we get the development for these side characters, because they've been around for so long, nearly 200 chapters by this point, and we've kept around mostly the same group of characters. And it's like they'll go long stretches without like a ton of development, and then the bits of development we do get are just so good, so fun. And seeing how Dokja always like plays into that and connects to things is always really good. But I also love when we let these characters stand on their own and we get to see them making their choices and everything, and it's so good. So again, another extremely good chapter, and I don't think these two were all that long. So yeah, this one especially, it only took me like 8 minutes to read. So let's go on and read 191. This chapter is also starting us with a little bit of a recap. We see her bringing out the golden apple. Let's get out of here together. Now we see Reinhardt reacting. What's happening? And the roots are actually shriveling. Before, he was siphoning like life essence out of everyone, so is it being siphoned back out? He screams in pain and starts bleeding internally. Okay. Why? Okay, and the roots are being torn apart by the dragon creature. Why are you? No. And he's screaming in disbelief as he's getting torn apart. And now it seems like roots are extending above him like they were below. Is he transforming again, maybe? We have the tattered wings. And then a crash down. Reinhardt reacting. And then we see the main character group. A chimera dragon. Very cool looking. Yusung Gilyang. Why you? And he yells as he sends forward the tendrils, but they're not looking so hot. The gerbil's not looking so great. And while he's distracted, he loses his cool and is like full on just completely, not thinking, ape brain, just send out the attack towards them. That leaves him wide open for Junghyuk, who is then able to come in. It looks like he is about to get diced. He does get pretty sliced up there. His actual main body is removed from the roots here. He's cut off, and then the roots left behind are chomped down on, leaving just the torso. And he falls to the ground. Okay, so he can't support himself with those wings like that. He's still coughing up blood. And we get this really gorgeous shot of the sun and this very fauna floralesque title splash here with the Chimera Dragon. I love its design. And also we have the backstory where it was getting torn apart, and it's like, oh, you can't become a monster just because they hurt you. So we like immediately can like sympathize with it and stuff. I hope it gets to stick around and maybe can just be like stored or compressed. We can just have like a tiny chibi version that follows them around when it doesn't need to be full size. Then again, that could be a lot of people might not like me saying that because it might end up like a chibi rack situation. And some of the creatures are reacting and are running through without attacking the humans. Are they all just going to run away now that maybe this creature's here, but also Reinhardt's lost control? It looks like they might just all scatter out into the second floor. Man, some of these shots of the sky are gorgeous. You have all the creatures running out. And Jungkook walking up to Gerbil, who's not doing too great. Everything is just a means for entertaining the greater beings. You hypocrite, die, and the citizens of paradise, how the turntables. Kill. I would, no matter what somebody did to me and everyone, no matter how much I wanted to kill somebody or anything, I'm not sure I would ever just be standing around in a mob chanting, kill, kill. I don't see that one happening. Although no one would believe me. I just wanted to. I know. Because, again, even though he was doing this terrible thing, he was just trying to provide refuge from the Starstream in the scenarios. I see. So you know. Why does it feel like this man really understands me, when I only met him for the first time today? People are still chanting kill. You're planning to go up to the next floor, right? You won't find what you want up there. This castle's just a playground for the constellations. Master, I wish you the best of luck. The next floor, and there is the crackle of the lightning. I wonder if it's like the lightning, the Starstream, Dokja, whatever, are stopping him from revealing information. Come on, spoilers are forbidden, so that is what it is. That's right, you can't ruin someone else's fun. And we see the Dokja there. And then the windows start popping up for Jungkook. Many constellations are impressed by what Incarnation Yu Jungkook has accomplished. The constellations of the Pure Good Alignment approve of Incarnation Yu Jungkook's decision. Some constellations are disappointed that Paradise has fallen. Many constellations have gifted you 150,000 coins. Insane super chat. You have defeated the Demon Marquis Reinhardt. You have received 150,000 coins. You have obtained the legendary story, Paradise of Despair. Your rank in Dark Castle's been adjusted. You have obtained a new main scenario. That's a really gorgeous shot, too. The destroyed, castle walls, the plants and the environment on the outside with the mountains framing the sides, the sky and the beams of light coming down are gorgeous. The silhouette of the really cool designed Chimera Dragon. Main scenario number 10, 73rd Demon King, has been opened temporarily. It wasn't planned, but I increased my rank in Dark Castle, earned coins, and obtained a clue for the next scenario. So why do I feel that something is off? It's the Savior. And all the people are looking to him now. Savior, thank you so much. Had it not been for you, we'd all be dead. Now I see. I had no intention of saving these people. He sees the blood on his hands. Just as Reinhardt considered them sacrificial offerings for Paradise. Thank you very much. They were also just sacrifices I was going to make to clear this scenario. I have been willingly sacrificing others for the greater good. I wanted to clear the scenarios and save the world in doing that. That was the goal I'd been fighting for. So why is it that I suddenly find it so hard to picture the world after the scenarios have ended? Excuse me, may I ask what your name is? He looks to the side. Kim Dokja. And, okay, Dokja's face is funny and all, but before I got to that funny face, that was such an emotional moment. That's so good. Because it's just like Dokja in the beginning saying that his name was Yu Jungkook. Man, that's so good. And I think it's him, not wanting to be bothered, because of course, he didn't want to save these people. He doesn't want people following him around, worshipping him. But I think it's also him saying this because he views Dokja as the right person. If they're going to spread around, oh, Dokja's the one who saved us, we need to follow him. I think that Jung-hyuk knows that when he's thinking about what comes afterward, even if Jung-hyuk can make a good ending happen, I think at this point he might be acknowledging that Dokja's the right person for what comes after. What? And now we have Kim Dokja's Love Part 9, and it ends there. That was so good. An insane 3 chapters, and it seems like this might be a good place to end because it's an arc ending, but I kind of really want to read one more. Okay, let's read one more. We'll start the next arc. Maybe it's not a good place to end, but I just want to. I want to see one more chapter. Let's go to 192. Episode 192. Also, we are kind of in this state of doing the little recaps at the beginning of each. We have the panels we just read. What? And then, your name is Kim Dokja. Wait, why are you giving them my name? A new achievement's been added to your 5th story. Kim Dokja, Kim Dokja. Also, this gives Dokja another story, right? The residents of Paradise will remember Kim Dokja, the liberator of Paradise, because even though the one who really truly did it was Jung-hyuk, people will remember Dokja as the one who did it. So that kind of adds to his story. The story Lonely Messiah has become richer. And they're still chanting Kim Dokja. What's he scheming? Is he trying to blame everything on me? Constellation Demonic Judge of Fire is tearing up at your camaraderie. I freaking love Uriel. There's no way that egotistical jerk would share his achievements with others. I don't think he considers me enough of a friend to share. And we see the dragon coming down. But, Sangha, why'd you look for Dokja earlier? Says Yuso. We have the mouth agape Jihye reacting. That was because... and we see him reacting to Sangha now. Okay, and we're cutting away, but we know why it was, and now maybe Dokja's going to get some more info about the what is it, the fate or whatever. And also, the other members of his group could get that info. He's going to die? Killed by someone he loves. She overheard Moray's prophecy? Again, I'm not a... Moray, I'm not 100% sure how to pronounce it. Prophecy. But he always... Because it's probably Greek and I have no idea. But he always comes back to life. Won't he be fine? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I thought he had, like, a bunch of lives left. Oh, but then again, it's the constellation memory thing. That'd be a relief, but we don't know how many more times he can do that. Since it's a prophecy from Olympus, it won't be easily avoided. So, who's the person he loves the most? Is this where they're all going to be like, he left with Su Young? Don't we need to learn that first? Wait. Do you know something, Jihye? I was just thinking that it could be me. You love Jihye. Did she really just say that? What did that bastard do to you? Don't tell me he... No, that's not it. I was just using my common sense. I'm young, pretty, cute, good with the blade, and charming to boot. There's no reason for him not to love me. I think that it might be Sangha that Dokja loves most. This is really cool if we extend the scene. I hope we get a lot of this scene, because I would love the idea of seeing what the characters think the answer is. We saw Dokja and Su-young talking before, but this is interesting. So Jihye's answer would be, oh, from what I've seen, it's probably me, isn't it? But then Hui-won doesn't think it's herself, or doesn't even think it's like Jung-hyuk or his mother or anything, or what was I thinking? I was thinking Jung-hyuk or Su-young. Hui-won thinks it's Sangha. I'm sorry? I'm sure all the men had butterflies in their stomach when they first saw you, and Dokja's also a man. And then she's awkward there. And I noticed that Dokja's a little different when he's with you. Well, that's just because we used to be colleagues at work. He also helped me out a lot. No, I'll never kill him. We're GA still. I was thinking it might be you, Huiwon. What? Me? But what if I do end up killing him? We have GA still. I noticed that he seemed to be particularly nice to you. And then we have the reaction, the flinch for... So I guess, does Hyunsung actually have feelings for Huiwon? Because he flinches at that. He gave you a lot of great equipment in the past, and you seem to smile more when you're talking to him. It's like they're playing hot potato. This is too much. I don't think that love here means love between a man and a woman necessarily, says Gil-young. And they all look to him. We also love our families, don't we? That could also be it. Then what do you think, Gil-young? Dokja likes me. And then they all react like, oh, he's just a kid. Then couldn't it also be referring to camaraderie, fellowship between friends? Camaraderie? I remember the time we trained with swords before. You see, fellowship between men can be very... And we have GK's reaction here. And they all look to Junkya. When men are brought up, you know, it seems like Hyunsung was thinking of himself, and GK has that reaction. But the other three, when that's brought up, look to Junkyuk. And then Junkyuk looks back over. What are you looking at? It can't be. Constellation Demonic Justifier shakes her head violently. It can't be. No way. That can't be it. Excuse me, says Yusung. Dokja's incarnation. We see the box there. Right, Yusung, come on and tell us. Do you know anything? Why don't we just ask him? What? But how could we do that? All this time, he's been listening to us. And then he reacts. She's spilling the beans. We have the title splash all the way down here. Kim Dokja's Love Part 10. Okay, so it's not over yet. Again? We have Viewpoint reacting. And then Sang-a's face. An unnamed constellation says that he's sorry. One more time. An unnamed constellation says that he's sorry. Is he really watching us? And then he's like looking up at the sky. An unnamed constellation says that he's very sorry. So, where is he? Over there, and Gil-young's looking around too, same with Hyunsung. Who is it that you love, Dokja? Come to think of it, it may not be someone who's here right now. Wait a second, didn't Dokja leave alone with that woman? I think her name was Han Soo-young, and then we have Sang-a reacting to that. Are you with her right now? Says Sang-a. An unnamed constellation says that he doesn't love anyone in particular. Really? You're being very vague. I love Huiwon's relationship to Dokja. That just means you don't have one yet. Why is everyone so interested in who I love? If the prophecy is true, you'll end up loving someone. Maybe we should rephrase the question. What kind of woman are you into? Does any one of us fit the bill? Why should I tell them something like that? You must be wondering why we're asking you this, but this is important. If you end up loving one of us, we could stop that prophecy from coming true. So, just tell me if you think you're about to fall for me. Or maybe it'll be me. We have Huiwon and GEA. What's she planning to do? But that does sound quite convincing. Fate's a very powerful thing, but it's not completely inevitable. But unnamed constellation really doesn't know. Come on, you're making us frustrated. Why don't you rate one of us? Why don't you rate us 1 by 1 or something? Your life's on the line here. Look at me now. And I love that still GA's yelling it up at the sky. An unnamed constellation says that he doesn't want to do something like that. Rate them. Darn it, I might end up using all my coins, sending them indirect messages. An unnamed constellation says that he doesn't know, or that even he doesn't know how he feels himself. Gosh, Dokja, really? Constellation Prisoner of the Golden Headbands taking an interest in the developing story. Constellation Secretive Plotter is curious to see who you'll choose. Constellation Abyssal Black Flame Dragons glancing your way. Many constellations are frustrated at your indecisiveness. Constellation Demonic Judge of Fire is telling you to be true to your heart. I love Uriel. A few constellations are saying that Incarnation Yu Sangha is the only way to go. A few constellations are in support of Incarnation Shin Yu Sung. Some constellations who love true friends are in support of Hyunsung Lee. At least some of them are supporting Hyunsung. Some constellations who are into friend-like lovers are into lovers support Incarnation Junghui 1. Constellation Eyes waiting for Tuesday nights, waiting for the story to unfold. Constellation Lazy Wednesdays. This is us. So, Eyes waiting for Tuesday night is everybody waiting for me to do the video actually on Tuesday. Lazy Wednesday's eye is today, me a day late doing the video on Wednesday. Says the Ugly King doesn't get to choose. This is a mess. Constellation Demonic Judge of Fire has a good idea. Huh? And then a little heart thingy comes down. Is this going to be a love tester? I love the Gil Young's face there. I love the design of this. Item information, affection reader, grade SS, an item that lets you determine how your target feels about you. Press the button and think of the person and their name, and to display the level of affection in the air. Hail the Archangel! You sure are generous! That item can only be bought by platinum members of the Dokja shop, and it costs 100,000 coins. I love Uriel. Oh my god, it is. I don't want to stop. No, this is a horrible place to end. I don't want to stop. This is terrible. Oh well. I guess next time we will see the love test rating. This was amazing. I love the end of the fight for paradise and everything, and this chapter was yet another amazing start. This gives me something to be excited for when it comes to read next week, though. Next week we will start off, hopefully, unless we're getting played here, I really hope they don't do something else. I really want to see, at least for right now, what the affection levels are. That's the only reason. If I was 100% certain we'd see it, I'd probably go and read one more chapter because I want to see it so badly. But I feel like we're gonna get cucked. We're gonna be like, oh, you want to see this? Nope, never mind. You don't actually get to see it. I really want to know though. But that was so fun. I loved a full chapter of seeing what the other characters thought about this and where they thought it would go, seeing them trying to work it out, seeing their different ideas and stuff, and how those ideas not just formed but kind of transitioned from thing to thing as they got more information. It was so good, and it was also very funny. I love this cast. So yeah, that was great. That was amazing. I'm going to end the video here. Thank you for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there to tell me what you thought of this week's set of chapters, my thoughts and reaction. This is all four of these are the 4 February chapters from 2024. We're going into March 2024 next week. I think, yeah. So thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there, tell me what you thought. Subscribe for more Omniscient Reader, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, that's free and open for anyone. All you got to do is ask to get a link. If you would like to help support the channel by dropping a super thanks, that is appreciated. If you would like to help support the channel by hitting join down below to become a member, or going to patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description to become a patron. You'll get One Piece videos a bit early, and you'll get your name at the end of every video. Thank you so much to people who are already patrons and members. I haven't updated it in a couple days. Sorry, I still need to do that. Thank you to Chosen Regular, Evan Hawley, Magical Girls, FRNono, JA, and the D-Band, Cheriton Students, David Langstaff and Folded Ghoul, Slayer Candidates, SG and Stan Cedar, and Pure Element, Pate Ordialo. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.